You're heading straight for their arms, aren't you?
What's to stop them from killing you as soon as you walk in?
I'm a very interesting fellow.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Omega Doom, and this 1996 film was directed by Albert Poon and stars Rutger Hauer, Norbert Weiser, and Shannon Worry, among others of course. The story of this movie is that after this apocalyptic war, robots have kind of destroyed all the humans on Earth, so now they are the rulers of the Earth, and they decide that they are just going to form their own gangs and start having gang wars. But there's also rumors that some humans did survive the war, so now they are looking for guns. I guess they destroyed the guns after the war, so now they have to refine them. And so there is a rumor that there's a pile of guns in this small town. So now there is a gang war over this small town. And then Rutger Hauer comes in as his own kind of android, and he starts playing the sides against each other and whatnot. And what will happen? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so what works with this movie? Well, it's a post-apocalyptic movie, so I'm there for that. And with this one, I thought it was kind of funny because it's robots forming gangs. Like, why wouldn't they work together to build a better society or whatnot? No, they just start, making gangs. And then the gangs themselves, I thought was interesting. Like, one gang is full of soldier robots, and the other one is called droids, and they're all just filled with kind of non-military based androids. And so then they're against each other, and that was kind of interesting. And then just kind of how they treat each other as well. Like, some of them are just so brutal, and some of them are so merciless, and some of them are just so kind of psychotic that, why would any robot act like this? Plus, Rutger Hauer's character uses all of that to his advantage. And so it's just kind of like an interesting world, I thought, that I certainly got into. Also, I enjoyed Rutger Hauer in this one. I think he does a great job with this one. Of course, he was never quite the best, but he was kind of like a thinking man's robot, I would say. It's very kind of interesting how he portrays his character. His character gets it's explained in the first 30 seconds, but he's shot in the back of the head, and that's where his programming is. So he's shot right in the programming, and that kind of modifies him to be, not as kind of characteristically evil as the other ones. And so just his character alone and how he really understands the world and understands how these things kind of fit together, I thought made him for a complex character that certainly does work with this world. Also, since it is a B movie, they have limitations, and their limitation is that they just have this one tiny set, and they use it effectively enough, but it takes place all in this one set, and it's I guess one section of an amusement park or something, and it works. I would say it does work. They do kind of get inventive with how they actually kind of have to play this set into the story. And so, yeah, even though it's, kind of a shitty set, kind of a B movie set, it does work for what it's going for. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, with this one, in the beginning, I think there's a little bit of difficulty with the ADR. And then I think my file kind of had some screw up with the sound, towards the end. But it's very clear that, they're not necessarily matching up with their lips. In addition to that, there is this heavy usage of robot sounds, very liberal usage of robot sounds. Anytime they move their head, you hear a robot sound. Throughout the whole thing, it's vrr, vrr, vrr. And just throughout the whole movie, that's all you're hearing. And so it's really kind of heavy-handed, I would say, and it just adds certainly to that B movie quality, where it's certainly not perfect, and this is far from perfect, I would say, but it does add to kind of just something to watch out for, where it's something to overlook. Other than that, with this B movie, it's a very small story as well. It's really just kind of about these two gangs, and the gangs aren't even big. They have dead bodies everywhere before Rutger Hauer walks in. And so it seems like there was this massive battle, and then they have, 3 on this team, 3 on that team. And that's kind of where they decide it's a stalemate. Before that, they're going at it. And that would have been a really cool kind of scene to see. But at the same time, then you wouldn't have, Rutger Hauer walking into it. So it's very, very small gangs, very small set, very small story. At the end of it, it just seems like it's one chapter of a much kind of larger story out there. And so that certainly, I think, kind of holds back kind of audience appreciation of, what you're seeing, just because it is so small and the set is so small and the gangs are so small. It's kind of a very small movie that way, which I think certainly, is due to limitations, of course, but something to overlook as well. So ultimately, would I recommend this movie? I would say, yeah, if you're a B-movie fan, this is a good one to watch. It's just a small post-apocalyptic movie that you can just kind of sit back and enjoy. So yeah, press play on this one. As for a rating, well, I'm going to give it the good bad score of 4.5. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.